Now to Campaign 2020, and Eyewitness News is your election authority. With just 1 month to go before Election Day, a new poll out today shows Democratic candidate Joe Biden leading President Trump 57% to 41% among likely voters.
Now, CNN surveyed more than 1,200 adults after the first debate and after the president tested positive for COVID-19. As we head into the final weeks of the campaign, there continues to be a lot of attention on this election season.
That is for sure. And joining us now is Quinnipiac University political science professor Scott McLean. Professor, thank you so much for being with us.
It's good to see you guys.
So let's first start off with President Trump's recent COVID-19 diagnosis. I think that for many of the population, they were not surprised by the fact he contracted the virus, given the fact he appeared many times in public without a mask.
Right. That's not probably the most important aspect about this. We've seen contradicting messaging from the White House about the president's condition. He was put on oxygen twice and was still released the next day and took a ride around the hospital just to wave to his supporters. And now we're finding out that the White House has not been conducting contact tracing at the White House, and that the return of the president to the White House last night, he took off his mask and clearly walked around other people. It doesn't appear that he is in isolation. CDC says that people who show symptoms should be in isolation for 10 days. We don't see that from the president. So it's interesting. Most of the things the president has done since he announced that he has COVID-19 have really compounded his disadvantages in the election when it comes to the handling of the coronavirus. It just reminds voters of this one area where he is weaker than Joe Biden in the polls.
Well, it's interesting you say that, Scott. This changes every day. It seems like every minute of every day. I mean, you know that better than we do, that's for sure. How do you think this will impact the election in these next few weeks?
Well, it's already impacted the election based on the polls that came out from CNN post-debate. I mean, we have to really put this in historical context. This is the most lopsided poll that we have seen in this century. You have to go all the way back to 1984 to find a presidential poll where one candidate is this far ahead. Now, it could just be a blip, maybe an outlier poll, but it's remarkable the kind of momentum and dynamic that's building in this race, and it surrounds coronavirus. The coronavirus is the number one issue strongly with voters over 65, and voters over 65 are now strongly tilting towards Biden, where it was favoring Trump 4 years ago. So this is significant.
All right, Professor Scott McLean, we appreciate your insight. Thank you very much for being with us.
It's great talking to you guys. Good night.